Do you realize that BRICS is on the verge of establishing a new global order? For many years, the U.S. has served as the epicenter of world power. In the current era of awareness and sophisticated global power dynamics, the economy is the sole component that can grant a nation global domination. This is why the U.S. is influential because of its unconstrained power. In order to achieve economic success, the BRICS adopted this strategy rather than trying any other ones. More than 30 countries have expressed interest in joining BRICS. But what would their cooperation mean for BRICS in the global order? Will it alter geopolitical culture and pose a first-ever threat to Western power? Let's investigate. Expansion of the BRICS is gradually taking on a significant role in the drive for growth. In addition to having enormous value for the entire bloc, the BRICS alliance is about to usher in a new era in the history of the world economy. Due to their own legitimacy and their connections with the group, each member nation has attracted a lot of attention. Brazil, Russia, India, South Africa, and China are the group's current 5 members, although they are open to adding more. What is the purpose of expanding? Economic growth is what makes the expansion so alluring, and several nations have expressed a desire to join the BRICS. More than 30 countries have expressed interest in joining the BRICS, according to a Modern Diplomacy article. Countries including Algeria, Argentina, Bahrain, Bangladesh, Indonesia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and Egypt have even submitted membership applications. The importance of BRICS will grow as a result of welcoming these GDPs. As more nations join BRICS, which will be essential to accelerating global economic growth, its influence will expand. Everyone is baffled as to why the countries are so eager to join BRICS, though. What stands out in the excitement? Even evidence of the possible members' economic might and how their inclusion in BRICS will serve BRICS interests have been provided. A strong economy like Algeria with a GDP of $206 billion has shown desire in joining the BRICS, as has irrigation, with a GDP of $641 billion, have voiced a strong desire to join BRICS. You will learn more about the advantages that these countries bring to the table in a moment. The excitement of these countries, which have GDPs in the trillions of dollars, demonstrates how the world is changing. The BRICS are viewed as a group of like-minded countries by the emerging economies. Accelerating economic growth and innovation is the aim of all BRICS members or those wanting to join. They seek to use this cooperation to establish shared wealth. However, the nation's strong demand to join BRICS tells us about the shift in the balance of power in the world. It highlights the crucial role developing economies are playing in their domination. The majority of countries are drawn to BRICS due to the existing members' economic achievements. The BRICS group, which was founded from scratch and now includes 45% of the world's population, is a force to be reckoned with when it comes to the West Bloc. The Western powers' impregnable walls are eroding for the first time in history. China versus the West, the global power shift of the 21st century, is a book. The author of the book refers to the struggle between China and the West as the 21st century's greatest global power shift, rather than merely a conflict. China, a BRICS member, has put the West Bloc to shame with its expanding market and economy. China has presented the West with numerous obstacles. China has quickly overtaken Western nations in terms of trade volume and has emerged as the world's second-largest economy. China has become a worldwide factory as a result of its increased capacity for manufacturing and its growing market. Even the Western world is extremely reliant on China for the majority of its commodity needs. Because of its rapid economic expansion, China has been able to modify its historically dominant position in the global economy. China has made significant strides in the realm of technology, particularly in the areas of artificial intelligence, AI, transportation, and renewable energy sources. While solar energy has gotten more affordable in China, while coal is still the most affordable fuel in most nations, this achievement takes China closer to its 2060 objective of carbon neutrality. China can now link to the rest of the globe because to the Belt and Road Initiative's support for infrastructure growth. The success tales of China inspire growing economies worldwide. Due to its tremendous success, countries like Russia have also come to regard China as a friend, and for the same reason, Russia joined BRICS. Russia's fight against the entire Western alliance has been made easier by joining Brics. The prospect of joining Brics offers all nations hope that they will be a member of the New World Order, despite all the restrictions. They think that Brics members have the power to alter the global order, and that joining this organization would put them in the shadow of the most powerful nations. Members of the Brics have the power to alter the course of history. Due to the prior membership of Brics, this is not just a wild guess, but rather a determined estimate by specialists. The Brics expansion will be decided during the following summit, which will take place in South Africa. The decision about the enlargement will be the meeting's main event at the upcoming summit, which will be held in August. The alliance will be very advantageous for the Brics. In the long run, the nations will work together on numerous initiatives. A number of objectives will soon be decided upon, and the work toward the New World supremacy will begin. But these are the results that will take time. To see outcomes, many decisions must be made over a short period of time. The immediate impact of the alliance can be used to visualize the scope of future development. In other words, the value of Brics will be at its maximum just after the partnership. The Brics GDP will surpass the US GDP by $7 trillion thanks to the alliance. After the agreement, Brics will surpass the US, which has the greatest economy in the world. In 2023, the US's GDP will be $26.85 trillion. And with China coming in second place, this makes it the world's largest economy. The GDP of China is $19.37 trillion. Together, the GDP of the Brics countries accounts for 31% of global GDP. The combined GDP of the Brics nations is currently $27.64 trillion, or $2.14 trillion greater than the US GDP. India has a $3.74 trillion GDP. The GDP of Brazil is $2.08 trillion. China will have a GDP of $27.64 trillion, $2.06 trillion in Russia, and $399 billion in South Africa. The GDP of nations like Algeria is $206 billion. It is $641 billion in Argentina, $44 billion is in Bahrain, $420 billion is in Bangladesh, $387 billion is in Egypt, with $1.39 trillion is Indonesia. The GDP of Iran is $367 billion. The value of Saudi Arabia is $1.06 trillion. Additionally, the UAE has a $499 billion GDP. The sum of all these GDPs will be $32.66 trillion, which is $7.16 trillion more than the US GDP. The Brics nations have also outperformed the G7 in terms of purchasing power parity. If you don't know what it is just the currency's total purchasing power. The Brics will grow even more significant soon after surpassing the US GDP, and the outcomes of the partnerships will soon be evident in the shape of projects and initiatives. These programs will establish a new global order. The development of the Brics economies has the potential to alter global politics. The new world order, which will no longer be under the complete authority of big nations, is being shaped by Brics. Every nation that is developing and doing well will control this new global order. The nations that are vying for dominance and deserve it are set to succeed, while the conventional leaders who have risen to power via violence are about to lose it. Do you believe the US will make an effort to grow its economy and compete with the Brics? Will Brics also depart from the G7 and the G20? Will Brics succeed in establishing a new global order? Comment below and let us know. What do you believe is the Brics' formula for success? Would you like to see more movies like this one? If so, do like, share, and subscribe to the video to receive exclusive videos about how phenomenally China is expanding and strengthening its influence throughout the world. Until the following video, stay tuned.